Mhm.
Hello and welcome to Soul Whisperings vlog. Today we have a guest with us, Amanda. Welcome, Amanda.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here for sure.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
I met Amanda in a network group, and she lives pretty close to me. And she is a midlife stepmom of two beautiful girls. She's happily married and in love with her two rescue dogs. She's a high school teacher who is looking to expand as a self care and empowerment coach and Reiki healer. And I believe you just finished your master Reiki studies. So
I
excited.
did. Hmm.
Congratulations. She brings
Thank you.
over 10 years of experience in teaching, presenting, and mentoring, and a master's in education and curriculum creation to my mission of helping women implement systems and strategies to achieve their desired lifestyle. I love how you have what's called the 4 Gs, and we'll dig into that. And you say that they saved your life. So I am so excited to hear more about that. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I do. I live right up on the northern border, right next to Canada. And it is, it is ironic that we live so close to each other, yet we met virtually. I think that's kind of the way of the world a couple years ago, right? And yeah, my life has just really shifted. I love teaching, I love being a stepmom, all of that good stuff. But when I really shifted into this coaching world, this Reiki world, this self-care world, it really does save my life and has brought me a lot of sanity back into my life.
I can
Uh,
totally relate because we have
mhm,
so many similarities just being in the school system, right?
mhm,
And then you went through the same health and life coach training that I went through Health Life
mhm.
Institute, correct?
Yes, yeah.
And then you got your Reiki master. So that's
Mhm,
so awesome.
yeah.
So, um, how do you listen to your soul?
I think this has taken a lot of practice. I think, as a woman and as a mom or a stepmom and as a teacher, you are constantly listening to the needs and of everybody else and trying to figure out how to fix everybody else's problems. And lots of times you get lost in that. And I know I did for sure. And I think I really tried to get into a lot of rooms, which happened to be virtual at the times. Some because of COVID and some because I live literally in the middle of nowhere. Um, and just, getting in those rooms and trying to learn about myself. And I would say one of the biggest things that has really helped that was actually yoga, because that was the first time I was really introduced to like slowing down and like, like that yoking of mind and body and soul was when I was really kind of introduced to that. So to listen to my soul, I have to remind myself to slow down, to stop what I'm doing, to meditate, to listen to music, whatever it might be. And that's when I think my soul really comes out and tells me what I need to do. Hmm.
Well, so you got here because you had some health challenges. I don't know what you want to share, how
Hmm.
much you want to share, but then I would love for you to jump in with your 4 Gs and
Okay.
how that has supported you through this journey.
Yeah. Well, when I was in my early 20s, I got Crohn's, and that is a digestive issue. So I got Crohn's really bad. I ended up losing a lot of weight, having some operations, and started to rein that in. And then I got some cancer and had to take care of that as well. And I think through those two things, I really had to learn how to listen to my body again, right? Like kind of listen to what my body's telling me. I also had to learn how to not only advocate for myself, but ask for help, which is really hard. And I had to learn certain things like just how to breathe and how to regulate my nervous system. Because when your body's on that high alert all the time, I think it's so key to remember how to regulate your nervous system, how to breathe, how to manage that pain. And I even think that stress is what caused my Crohn's. Now that I've learned how to handle my stress, I'm not on and, I still have stressful days, but for the most part, how to handle my stress. Like, I'm not on any medication for my Crohn's. It's pretty much at a level where I know that if I'm going to eat something funky or when I get really stressed out, that it's going to come back a little bit. Like, for example, I just had a stepdaughter who was in the hospital, and, right the whole time I was there, I was fine. As soon as she came home, my digestive system just went wonky. So it's really, I think, learning how to control my stress and my nervous system really helped me come through that. Um, and working through this process, I came up with the 4 Gs. So you want me to go over that? Okay.
Yeah, thank you
Okay.
for sharing.
So they are grace and grit and glee and gal gang. And grace is a really, they're all really big, but grace is a big one because I think we forget to give ourselves grace a lot. We forget to advocate for ourselves and ask for help and understand that, like, sometimes during this season, certain things are going to happen and that's okay. Certain things aren't going to happen. That's okay. I think becoming a parent has taught me a lot about giving myself grace, um, and that it's okay to do that. And the grit comes in where, like, sometimes, so you just have to buckle down. You got to do the hard work. And that might be the everyday work you have, but it might be like, you know what, I need to buckle down and really do the tools and techniques I know that's going to help me regulate my nervous system. That's going to help me be more productive in the long run. So having some grit to do that. And maybe because of what I've been through with the Crohn's and the cancer, I just think that, like, we are only here once. You know a lot about that. We're only here once. So if we can make it fun, it just not only helps regulate your nervous system, but just makes life a lot happier. And I am totally into being happy and enjoying life as much as possible. So whatever it can be, like exercise, eating right, creating goals, if it can be fun and you can put that fun back in your life, that's huge for me. And the last one is the gal gangs because you can't do it alone. And I know that that has really saved me, like getting into the rooms, whether it's virtually or in real life, and just talking to other women who are safe, who aren't going to judge me, who just automatically want to raise me higher and help motivate me, can understand what I'm going through. Those groups, those gal gangs, they're what help you, like, become that steady rock where you can get through anything. So um, all my coaching, even my Reiki coaching has aspects of all 4 of those in there because I think they're very valuable lessons that I've learned. Mhm.
I love how like it's just easy to remember because you've got
Mhm.
this 4G, and
Yeah.
you've also got this phrase, two phrases I think that I love as part of your coaching and Reiki is nurture yourself, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Nurture herself,
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
her, right? And then you also say, let me hold your hand. And
Yeah.
to me, that just feels like you're gonna be there for me.
Yeah.
Whenever I read that, I just feel like, yes, you're gonna hold my hand if I ever needed anything, or
Mm.
I don't know. It's just a comforting feeling the way that that message goes out.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, I actually started with Nurture Yourself, and I've kind of brought it back to, well, for a couple reasons. Nurture Yourself was out there a lot already, and I'm like, well, I really want to deal with women because that's what I know. So Nurture Herself then kind of fell into that. Um, and yeah, it's definitely like I have a podcast and I say, grab my hand, let's do this journey together. And it goes back to that gal gang. Like, you don't want to do it by yourself. You need to have somebody to do it with you, and we can all relate and we can all help. And yeah, I'm glad that meant something to you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I love it. So tell me a little bit. You're newer on the scene, I believe, for the Reiki journey the past couple of
Mm.
years. You've been studying. And tell me about that. Like for listeners who might not, I mean, if they're listening to my stuff, they probably already know a little bit about Reiki, but let's just kind of like, what does Reiki mean to you and how has it changed your life?
Well, it was almost a year ago. I think that I had done a lot of soul searching, and I knew that I needed something more than just teaching in my life. I love teaching, but it's been very stressful the last few years, and I needed more. I needed something for myself. And I was thinking of a couple different ways, and all of a sudden, our mutual friend Darcy had something online about becoming Reiki certified, and I'm like, no, I don't think so. And then my gut just kept pulling me towards it, so I signed up for it, and um, I got certified 1 and 2, and then just barely I got my master's, and just really changed my life as well. So I've been doing it, maybe a year. I think a year ago I started taking clients, so it's been just a year. And for me, it's been a process of trusting myself. I don't know if this is really gonna answer your question, but for me, it's really been trusting myself because I feel like when you learn how to do it and how to do this to other people and heal other people and even yourself, I guess you really have to trust your instincts and your intuition and believe in yourself that this is happening and that you can do this, and that's huge, right? That's really special. And then just to somebody can't say you have to do exactly this and then exactly this. Like I just really had to go with my gut and my instincts, and when I do that and I listen to my intuition as I am doing the Reiki on somebody, it's so exciting and fulfilling, and when we are done and they are feeling, whether they're feeling balanced or they're feeling something shifted or they felt a release of an emotions or, whatever they come out feeling as well, and knowing I help them do that is just, oh, it fills my cup in a totally different way. So, I have absolutely loved being a Reiki healer for sure. Did I answer your question? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, the Reiki journey is just so
Yeah.
fascinating. And like, I always feel, and now you're teaching Reiki, correct?
I'm gonna start this next year. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I just feel like, Darcy was your teacher, who we
Mhm.
love, right? And, and just a shout out to her. She has Claim Your
Right.
Network, and that's where we met, is, networking and connecting people,
Mhm.
which I love. Oh, now I lost my train of thought. Oh, so I always feel like when you're when somebody learns Reiki, it's like it puts a little light inside of you. And
Yeah.
like watching that grow, right, is
Yeah.
what you want for others too, right? Like
Mhm.
you say, like, I feel this inside me. I know that this feels right to me. And now you're
Yeah.
going to be able to, either with a Reiki treatment, right? That still
Mhm.
happens, like you said, the release, the calmness of the nervous system, all those things can happen during a Reiki session. So,
Yeah.
um, oh, I just had another question. Anyway, um, so
And I think we're like you and me, like we're teachers, right? Like that's what we are, whether we're in a classroom or we're in our office or whatever it's about. Like our passion is teaching. So I'm so excited to be able to start teaching this in the next year. And I think that's part of why I like my coaching program too, because it's teaching women all the tools and the techniques. And I mean, teaching's a passion. That's why we went to school for it, right? So yeah.
I definitely relate to that. And that's what
Yeah.
I feel like I'm using all my, education skills. And now I'm teaching that spiritual side of us that we can't talk about like during class, right? Like
Right.
you go to
Right.
public education over here, and then the
Mhm.
spiritual Reiki side over here,
Yeah.
and now like with your business and everything going on, you can kind of integrate and feel really connected to the work that you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, um, so how do you know, or how do you, let's do this question. How do you help others connect to their soul in a meaningful way?
Mm. Well, I think what my coaching program does, and that's something I'm very excited about too, is I'm going to start one this coming right up, like within the next month. I'm going to start a group one. I like groups, obviously gal gangs is part of my thing, so I like groups. And we really walk through, wait, what'd you say? The soul, right? So I really walk through all the different tools and techniques that all these years I have been learning and kind of putting into my toolbox, and I walk through it with them. And I try to teach them that, like, about the small steps and about habit stacking and how to create habits and anchoring your life. But we also throw in there some human design and some Reiki and some EFT tapping and visualization and meditation and like all I just get to take. I feel like I get to take everything that I've learned and put in my tool bucket. And I'm like, you guys can try it. And it's not something that necessarily has to happen every single day because that's exhausting. But like when something happens, you're like, all right, what tool would work? Let me pick it out of the box and let me try it. So I think that really allows women to like listen again to their bodies and listen to their soul and see what they need in that moment or that season that's actually really going to work for them. And instead of having to learn it bit by bit, they have it in their toolbox ready to go. So that's how I really want to help women. Yeah.
Amazing.
Hmm.
So let's go back. I did think of my question. So
Okay.
let's go back to the Reiki conversation just a little bit. So I get this a lot, and maybe you get this too. And I just want to clarify it for all of the listeners out there is, you went into Reiki because you had this opportunity, and then you did decide to work on other people. But the Reiki journey for me was more about me than about necessarily my business or
Hmm.
about doing it for other people. I mean, I did Reiki 1 and 2 almost 30 years ago. And so I never started up a business. I just used Reiki throughout my life. I used it with my kids when they were falling asleep. And
Mm.
so, like, what would you tell somebody who says, I don't want to learn Reiki because I don't want to start a business? Like,
Yeah.
how has Reiki like integrated into your life
Hmm.
without the business part, and how are you using it, and what would you tell that person?
I guess I would tell that person that it's really what you wanna make out of it, and the more I'm learning about it because, again, I am in this first year, but the more I'm learning about it, the more you can use it on so many things. I now use it I mean, I use it on myself, um, which just helps calm me. I feel like it helps calm me. If I'm stressed out, I can do it to myself, or if I'm feeling some strong emotions, I can do it to myself. And it not only regulates my nervous system, but it also, like, just opens up different feelings and emotions in me and lets me kind of align myself. But you can also like, I've been doing it to, help me with my manifestation. So, like, things that I'm manifesting, I use it a lot with. You can use it on your pets, like, I use it on my pets a lot just to help them. Like you said, you can use it on your kids. I use it in my classroom. You talked about how, like, we don't go back and forth, and we really don't, but at the beginning of the year and before vacations and stuff, I tend to sage my room and Reiki my room just to kinda clear energies out and start fresh. So, you can do it to your house. I mean, I know people I haven't done this yet and I want to, but people say you can do it to your food. Like you can really we're all made up of this energy. Like everything is made up of this energy. So you can do it to pretty much everything, I think. So you definitely don't have to do it to other people and charge money. You can just do it in your life to make you happier, to make your life calmer, to bring grace to your life. Yeah. I think that's the amazing part of it. It's your journey and you get to use it how you want. So
Yeah, it's just that like understanding that energetic
mhm.
system and how we hold things in our bodies, right? And that the
Yeah.
Reiki can really release it. And then that makes
Mhm.
more space for the new. And you've
Yeah.
been trained, correct me if I'm wrong, in the Holy Fire Reiki too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And that I find is very powerful. So that's a newer Reiki. The original Reiki was 1922, and the newer Holy Fire Reiki is 2014. And to me, that one, I don't know, there's something magical about it. I mean,
Mhm.
are you experiencing that? Or maybe you don't know because you don't have anything to compare it to. But for me, that vision of the holy fire, and I don't know if you want to share a little bit what holy fire meant to you.
Um, I mean, yeah, I think that it's very exciting and I don't really have anything to compare it to for sure. I think it's amazing that you've done both. I think that's really something exciting as well. But I think, all the levels come with different signs, and all the signs can be used for different things. And that has been really exciting for me to try the signs out and to try to do different things with them. And the holy fire, I mean, it's fire, right? Like it's amazing. It's alive, it's breathing, it's pure, like pure energy, I feel like. So yeah, I think it's really powerful. Um, I haven't since I have become a master, because that just barely happened, I haven't done it to anybody else, just myself. So I'm excited to get out there and start doing it tomorrow. I have a couple lined up, but I just feel like since I have started this and with this journey, I feel like, yeah, my intuition is getting more in tune, but the trust in myself is becoming more in tune. And I feel like I have people like guiding me, is what I feel like. So my grandparents have passed away, and I can just picture them with me, hanging out with me while I do it, which is really emotional and bonding for me as well too. So that's a lot, but that's how I feel. I feel like they're there with me, and sometimes like I might call them in and be like, "Hey, if you want to come help me, this is what I need. I could use this from you guys." And they were always there in my life to hold my hand and guide me. And I feel like through this process, their names keep getting brought back up to me. So now I've just kind of embraced it. And when I do the holy fire symbol, I also ask my grandparents to be there. And I think it's magical. It's not magical. It's like science, but it's like, that feeling of like magic, which I love. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is something, and you just mentioned the word science. You know, there are scientific data now that shows how Reiki is healing, not curing,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
healing. And so I would encourage anybody to try it if you're
Yeah.
interested. So Amanda, what are your offerings right now? Like what if people wanted to work with you, what would that look like?
Mhm. Well, I always have one-on-one coaching that we could start at any time. I have a 6 week or a 12 week that we can do anytime. Is the basic programming that I have kind of taken from where we went and learned and kind of sculpted into myself. Like I said, I had a master's in curriculum design, which means I love to make things up. I love to make programs up. So I have that anybody can work with me. But in February, I'm going to start a group program, and I'm excited for that because that is going to be half virtual, but also half in person up here in the Derby Line area, so that we actually get to see each other and hang out together. So I'm really excited about that.
And you do
Mhm.
Reiki one-on-one sessions with
Yes.
people virtually or in person or both.
I can do either or. Yeah, I can do both.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
you're going to soon be starting some Reiki classes. So look forward
Yes.
to seeing that. That's so
Yeah.
exciting. And how
Hmm.
can people find you?
Um, they can definitely look up my website. It is called Nurture Herself, and I am Amanda May Coaching, MAE Coaching on Instagram. So I'm on there a lot, and I'm on Facebook under Amanda Fortin because that's my name. Yeah. Oh, and I have a
Awesome.
podcast too. I should say that because I just came out with a podcast and I'm like super loving it, and you're going to be on it too. So I'm excited about that. And it's called Nurture Herself. So yeah, definitely check that out. Hmm.
Yeah. I've been listening to some of your sessions or some of your whatever, I can't think of the word. Um,
Yeah.
and it reminds me a lot of Mel Robbins. Like
Cool.
you've listened to Mel Robbins,
Yes.
right?
I love her. Yeah. Hmm.
And so like yeah, it's fascinating and just to hear
Mm.
the stories. So I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So the last question that I would like to end with is what do you absolutely love about life?
Oh, wait, that's a
Your
hard
list
one because what's that?
your list is going to be long.
It's love.
I can feel the
Yeah.
gratitude
Yeah.
through the computer.
I do. But like if I had to think of like when you think of like your happy space, I would have to say, what do I love about life is being we have a family camp that we've always gone to, and it's on Lake Champlain. So if you put me near water in general, I'm a happy, happy girl. Very happy girl. So I love that about life. Other than the, a million other things there are to be happy about. If I am near water and sun, I'm very happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can
Hmm.
relate to that. That's where we have another similarities. I think we were in network meetings and you were answering the questions. I'm like, me too, me too.
That's awesome.
So many similarities and connections. Do you
Uh-huh.
have anything else that you'd like to share with us before we say adios?
This has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me on here. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great to have you and hear your
Mhm.
story and how you got here and how you can help people.
Yeah, definitely.